What the Dude, the door just shut. What the fuck? Olha só. Olha ali, cara do céu. Meu Deus. Oh, what the fuck is that? What is that?
Dark Exploration Films, a YouTuber whose name is Devin, and his an urban explorer. He steps into the forgotten corners of history, abandoned, decayed, and long left behind. These places hold stories etched in dust and silence, and through exploration, he brings those stories back to life. This time, he went on this scary adventure. He hiked deep into the Appalachian Mountains at night, chasing the shadows to an abandoned fire tower left to rot since the 1970s. Would you dare step into something that's been swaying in the wind for half a century? On the way, he stopped by what locals whisper to be the oldest tree in Pennsylvania, a massive sycamore with a hollow base, dark enough to hide something. What would you expect to crawl out of that hole if you looked too long? Night fell as he reached the fire tower. The forest grew unnaturally silent, as if holding its breath. Can you imagine standing there, knowing something unseen might already be watching? Then he started climbing up the tower to spend his night there. The higher he went, the colder it became. The shadows seemed alive, shifting with every flash of his light.
This thing shakes quite a bit. And there's the wind. Wow, that wind is crazy right now. Holy. We're almost at the top. It's so windy up here, it's crazy. Here we are.
Would you dare climb this tower alone at night? From the top, the view was endless darkness. No sound of wildlife, just silence. He settled down there as he was spending his night there.
And I'm about to boil some water, make my MRE in just a little bit, and just chill out. Try to get used to being up here. I don't know if I'll be able to get used to that. So I just checked on my phone, and apparently the wind is only 6 miles an hour right now. It sounds crazy. I mean, I don't know how I'm gonna go to sleep tonight. I'm gonna try.
Would you dare spend a night up in that high tower where you can't even think of what might happen? What happens next is the kind of thing that keeps people awake at night. This terrifying encounter was captured by Midwest ghost hunter, who is known for filming scary ghost hunting videos. This time around, he went to the infamous Baru Inn, one of the most haunted bars in America. From the very first moment, strange whispers and unexplained noises warned that something sinister lurked inside. As he ventured deeper, he started hearing strange sounds and movement, followed by the chilling sight of a shadowy face staring directly at him before vanishing into the dark.
I'd like to see it for myself. Is there anybody here that could do that for me? Oh, that sound came from over there. That scared me. Oh, jeez. Okay, I'm hearing all kinds of weird sounds in here. Who's making noise?
Was it a restless spirit or something far worse? Then, suddenly, he noticed some movement in a box and also a box falling by itself. What do you think was throwing the box on the floor? After seeing that, would you dare to still wait inside? Then he went down to the basement, where he heard something moving. He saw the cooler people have been talking about and decided to go inside. But surprisingly, after entering, the door closed by itself. He was so terrified. But luckily for him, the door opened back.
What? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. What the f***? Dude, the door just shut. Please don't be locked. Please don't be locked. Okay, thank God. It didn't shut all the way. What the hell?
What do you think would have happened if it hadn't opened back? Upstairs in the brothel, ghostly lights floated across the room and objects flew violently from shelves.
What was that?
The haunting climax ended with undeniable proof. This inn is not just haunted, it's cursed. The nightmare continues, and this time, it feels way too real. This story comes from Taste of Nature, a YouTuber who loves posting his adventure camping. He does that just because of his love for nature. This time around, he went hiking deep in the mountains. But what she encountered was nothing short of terrifying. She was alone when the sky suddenly split open, the weather changed, thunder exploded across the valley, and lightning tore the darkness apart. Imagine being trapped in the middle of the mountains, no shelter in sight, with nature itself raging against you. What would you do? The storm grew stronger. Every crack of thunder felt closer. Every flash of lightning lit up the endless shadows. Fear and isolation pressed down heavy like the mountains themselves were closing in. After a desperate search, she finally stumbled upon a small, hidden spot that offered the faintest safety. There she built a fire, its fragile light flickering against the storm's fury. But even with the flames, the night was merciless. The rain never stopped, the thunder never eased, and the storm refused to let her rest. It was a night raw, wild, and unforgettable. You thought the last story was bad? The next one is downright terrifying. Survival Stories shared this terrifying encounter on his YouTube channel, where he posts several videos of his terrifying camping adventures in blizzards. He set out for a winter camping trip, but then, suddenly, the sky turned violent. A blizzard struck without warning, snow swallowing the forest around him. The storm grew merciless. His hands went numb as he struggled to raise a tent against the howling wind. Each pole he forced into place wasn't just a gear. It was survival. But the shelter stood firm. Not just fabric in the snow, but a fragile lifeline against nature's fury.
Little by little, after a long struggle, the shape of a small tent began to appear. At last, when the final rope was anchored deep into the snow, I exhaled with relief. Before me stood not just a flimsy tarp, but a sturdy shelter. It was more than a tent, it was a lifeline.
But the storm had more in store. He fought through waist-deep drifts, clawing wood from beneath a fallen tree. Every trip back to camp felt like a battle against the cold itself. At last, fire. A fragile flicker in the dark, but it was enough. The orange glow filled the tent, warming his body, restoring his will. Over hot tea and a simple meal, he reclaimed hope. That night, the blizzard screamed outside, yet inside his tiny shelter, he prepared to sleep. Would you dare spend the night here knowing the blizzard is not stopping anytime soon? Things only grow darker from here. Brace yourself for what comes next. Origin Paranormal, a YouTube page known for posting scary adventure videos, shares this creepy video. He went deep into the mountains, where an abandoned wooden house conceals a chilling legend, the spirit of a nun who never left. The investigator returns to the house. Darkness surrounds him, and already, strange noises echo inside. Would you dare to step in? After entering, he explains the legend. A nun who had a forbidden affair with a priest. After her sudden death, her spirit remained trapped here, haunting the very walls of this place. But why hasn't she moved on? Then the terrifying moment, the apparition of the nun is caught on camera. He gasps as the figure stares back.
Ah, meu Deus! Ah, ferida, meu Deus! Ah, meu Deus! Ah, que susto! Oh, Jesus! O espírito da freira lá, cara. É ela.
Could this truly be her spirit, or something darker, wearing her face? Furniture shifts on its own. A sofa that was in the center of the house is now blocking his path. Who, or what, moved it?
Sofá! Olha só! Olha ali, cara do céu! Meu Deus! Oh, Jesus! Olha ali, cara!
The door lock rattles violently, as if invisible hands are trying to break free. Would you stand still, or run? So I'll ask you, if this were you, would you dare spend the night in the nun's cursed house? Another clip, another chilling moment that's hard to explain. This chilling story comes from Franco TV, a YouTube channel that posts creepy adventure videos. What he found inside this abandoned tunnel is something few would dare face. The exploration begins. The tunnel is pitch black, and in the distance, an eerie glow. At first, it looked like fire, but the moment light shone toward it, the glow vanished. Was it really a fire, or something unnatural?
Turn off my IR for a second. Oh shit. Would you look at that? There is looks like a fire. I can't even see it with my own eyes, but I can see it with the night vision. There we are. Look, you can see it just a little bit. It's way back there.
While inside the tunnel, he saw something that shocked him. A shape on the ground, almost like a person lying still. Would you keep walking forward if you saw that?
But look, I'm not getting... Oh, what the fuck is that? What the hell is that? Look like a person sleeping there for a second.
After some while, a faint singing echoed through the tunnel. A lullaby, two voices drifting in the darkness. Who or what was singing in a place like this?
Listen.
deeper inside, he discovered something worse. A mannequin placed deliberately in the tunnel. Was it left there as a warning, or as bait for anyone who dared to enter?
I think I know what that is. That looks like a mannequin. Looks like it has eyes and everything.
Then, a new danger. A strange light at the opposite end of the tunnel, as if someone else was inside, watching. Alone in the tunnel.
Look. Fuck. There's somebody back there. I just came in from this area. I haven't heard a thing, and it's been completely quiet. I completely went dark as I'm walking. But I can definitely see what looks like a light. They might have seen my light as I was making my way out. I don't know.
After seeing so many strange things, and now someone is there with you, what will be your next move if you're in his position? When he returned to the entrance, dozens of candles were burning. Yet earlier, none had been lit. Who lit them and why? So I'll ask you, would you dare walk this tunnel alone? From eerie to downright disturbing, here's what came next. TC Explorer, a channel on YouTube known for hunting ghost areas and urban exploration. So this time round, they went to hunt in this graveyard late at night, where every sound seemed alive. The first voice was heard, faint, close to the ear, but not through the earpiece. Was it an animal, or something whispering from the dark?
I don't know if the mic picked that up, but I clearly heard that.
I heard that.
That was kind of like
I heard it in my ear.
Well, I heard it with my ear, not in the earpiece. But it came from over there.
Knocking echoed across the cemetery, followed by what sounded like distant screaming. Moments later, the scream grew louder.
Do you hear that, like, pounding? I heard, like, knock, 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 knock. More screaming.
What was that?
What the fuck? That is screaming.
Yeah?
That is legit a human screaming.
Oh, did you hear the footstep?
Oh.
I heard it in my
Your earpiece?
monitor, yeah. Thing we have something in our ears that can hear what the microphone hears.
I'm gonna see if I can pick it up.
It's a new system we are using.
Human-like. If you heard that in the dead of night, would you stay? They asked the spirit talker if it liked the fact that they came to haunt in the graveyard, and it responded with a chilling word. It was conjured. What was conjured? Was the spirit talker trying to warn them not to go further? A glowing orb appeared on camera near the bushes, floating unnaturally before vanishing. They also heard knocks around where they are again, clear and deliberate. After a while, one of them felt her hair yanked hard. No one was near them. Was something trying to drag them deeper into the graveyard?
Can you show your face again,
Show yourself.
please?
Yes?
Yes.
Are you filming?
Oh, I've got it. Yeah, I did get it on camera. It was a big orb on the bush over there.
Ooh.
Can you show you again? Show your face again. I can see you, I can hear you.
Coffee?
Do you want to take a coffee with us? Oh, fuck.
I did hear that as well.
So I asked them to make a sound so we can go and
Yeah.
see them. So it was down here.
I heard that dog. buzzing.
Buzzing. So
We heard a knocking, not a
look at this graveyard though. What? Oh. Oh.
What is that?
Oh. That scream.
By the end, whispers, footsteps, and strange growls surrounded them. So let me ask you, if you were trapped in this graveyard at midnight, would you dare keep filming or run before it's too late? Just when you think it can't get stranger, wait until you see this. I came across this chilling video on Black Mass Paranormal, who visit the most haunted places in America. He visits abandoned buildings just to prove the existence of cryptids. While on an adventure, what he captured in the woods will leave you unsettled. He stumbled upon what looks like the remains of a kill, but here's the thing, there's no fur on it, just raw, torn flesh lying in the dirt. At first glance, it doesn't even look like the usual scraps left behind by hunters. Instead, it's a full limb, with chunks of meat still clinging to the bone. As he moves closer, the camera catches sight of a skull, likely a deer. But this wasn't a clean kill. Whatever did this ripped the animal apart, scattering pieces across the ground as if in a frenzy.
Scraps to me. Like, it doesn't look like something somebody killed and like kept, because we don't let meat right there. Like, that's a limb. Something. Like,
that raises a terrifying question. What kind of creature has the power to tear through a deer like that and then disappear without a trace? Was it a predator or something far more sinister hiding in the woods?
They say some houses are better left forgotten. But this person couldn't resist exploring a crumbling, centuries-old home deep in the Scottish countryside. The walls were split with deep cracks, the roof sagged under years of neglect, and wildflowers clawed their way up to the shattered windows. As he stepped closer, something in the shadows caught his eye, behind the broken glass. Staring straight out was a pale face. It wasn't moving, it wasn't blinking, it was just watching. Was it a squatter? A lost soul still clinging to the ruins of its past life? Or could this have been an apparition that refused to leave? What do you think this person saw that day? Two friends were hiking out filming for fun, just messing around, nothing out of the ordinary. But then, something happened that no one could explain. On camera, clear as day, a strange white mist, almost like a figure, suddenly appeared, and then vanished, just as quickly as it came. Here's the creepy part. In person, there was nothing there. Absolutely nothing. No fog, no smoke, no person. The place was empty, yet the camera caught something that our own eyes never saw. 1 second, the frame is clear. The next, it's like a ghost has just decided to walk right through. It wasn't a reflection. It wasn't a glitch. It was there, and then it wasn't. Was it paranormal? A spirit? Some kind of shadow from another world? Or just a trick of the light? Honestly, no one has an answer. But the footage speaks for itself, and once you see it, you might not want to be alone in the dark for a while. Haley wasn't looking for trouble, just a bit of mystery. The kind of harmless thrill people chase when they download the Randonautica app. But her harmless adventure in the Pennsylvania woods quickly spiraled into something out of a nightmare. She and a friend followed the app's coordinates deep into the trees. The forest was still, almost too still, the kind of silence that presses on your ears and makes every instinct in your body tighten. And then Haley felt it, the prickling sensation of unseen eyes.
I think we have to go over this bridge, and our location's a little down there. What the fuck? Oh, what the fuck? Should we keep going?
From between the dark trunks, a pale face emerged, a woman, just staring. Before they could process it, she vanished, only to reappear moments later, this time much farther away, and moving. Her walk became a run, then a sprint. The forest exploded with panic. Haley and her friend bolted, branches clawing at their arms, hearts pounding like war drums. They didn't stop until they were out of the woods, literally. That night, Haley deleted the app, for good. Some whisper she crossed paths with a forest witch. Others believe it was a restless spirit or something much darker hunting in those woods. What do you think? While hiking in the mountains of Uttarakhand, India, a hiker captured something terrifying on camera. A massive boulder suddenly broke free from the cliffside, tumbling down with a deafening roar. It smashed into smaller rocks, sending clouds of dust into the air and shaking the ground like a mini earthquake. Each impact sounded like thunder rolling through the valley. People nearby could only watch in shock, some scrambling away while others recorded the jaw-dropping moment. In just seconds, the peaceful mountain turned into a dangerous, unstoppable force, showing how quickly nature can change from calm to chaos. Years ago, this person's grandfather snapped a picture of an old building. Nothing unusual at first glance, but on the porch, barely visible, was what looked like a shadowy figure, an apparition that didn't belong. Not long after taking the photo, this person's grandfather fell mysteriously ill. Doctors couldn't name the disease. Whenever someone tried to talk to him, he would freeze, eyes wide, claiming he could see the image in his mind, like a flash of blinding light. Exactly 7 days later, he was gone. Was it a coincidence? Or did this photograph capture something that marked him for death? They thought it would just be a harmless night of curiosity. 2 friends, a phone, and the infamous Randonautica app. The goal? Find a little mystery. The reality? They found something much worse. Their random coordinates led them deep into an eerily quiet area. No streetlights, no other cars, just shadows. But then, it happened.
Why did we just go to this fucking quantum point and this whole fucking person is Sky? Oh my fucking god. Bitch, I can't. What if the person shows up in my rear view camera? No, bitch, I can't.
From the darkness, a strange figure emerged, pale, still, and almost watching. At first, it didn't move. Then slowly, it began walking toward their car, step by step, closer, closer. Panic set in. They slammed the car into gear, but the figure followed as if it knew exactly where they were going. Terrified, they sped off into the night, hearts racing, unsure if they just encountered a ghost, a djinn, or something far more sinister. While passing through a cemetery, a man spotted something so strange that he immediately pulled out his phone and started recording. There, between rows of weathered gravestones, sat a car, smashed and twisted like it had just been in a terrible crash. Its front bumper was pressed hard against an old headstone, and the headlights flickered weakly, casting shaky beams across the graves. The unsettling part: the car was empty. No driver, no passengers. Only the cold wind whispering through the trees and the slow creak of the cemetery gates in the distance.
Hello? You alright? You okay? What the hell? What the fuck is going on here? There ain't nobody there. Miss? Hello?
It was the kind of scene that felt wrong, like something was watching from the shadows. He was in his tent, deep in the wilderness last summer, lying under a sky full of stars while the campfire outside faded to glowing embers. The forest was silent, almost too silent. Then, breaking the stillness, came a long, haunting howl. At first, he thought it was the wind, but then more howls followed, distant yet unmistakable. Wolves, calling to one another somewhere in the darkness. Inside the thin walls of the tent, every sound felt closer than it was. The howls weren't loud enough to feel dangerous, but they carried an eerie weight, like the forest itself was warning him to stay inside. While hiking through a dense, quiet forest, a hiker stumbled upon something he couldn't explain. At first, it looked like the outline of a tree, but then it moved, slowly, carefully, almost like it knew he was there. Curious but uneasy, he lifted his camera and zoomed in. That's when he saw it. This strange figure peeking from behind a tree. Its face didn't look quite human, but it wasn't an animal either. Just pale, still, and watching. Before he could react, the figure slipped back into the shadows, vanishing without a sound. Was it a lost person? Some strange forest creature? Or something far more unsettling? It's the dead of night, April 30th, 2022. The kind of night where the darkness feels heavier than usual. No streetlights, no moon, just pitch black silence. And then, something appears that should not be there. This person and a friend had just wrapped up their usual late-night game of carom at a buddy's place. Normally, they'd stay till 2 or 3 a.m., but that night they left earlier, around 1 a.m. Everything was calm until the bike engine went silent. That's when this person froze. Standing in the distance, near the backyard of a neighbor's house, was the silhouette of a woman. The lighting was weird enough to see her legs, but not her face. And she wasn't moving. At all. This person's instincts screamed to run, but before leaving, they somehow managed to pull out a phone and snap a few pictures. They still have them to this day. Looking at those photos now, the figure still looks like a woman, standing completely still under a tree by the river. But here's the thing, no one in their right mind would be standing there at that hour. Was it a ghost, a spirit, or something far stranger? While walking down a quiet trail, just enjoying the day, when, boom, right there in the middle of the path, a clown. Not a happy, balloon-making clown, but one that just stood there, like it was waiting. The moment this hiker saw it, the heart started pounding. The eyes scanned the trees, the bushes, every shadow, half expecting a bunch of creeps to jump out at any second. Every little rustle in the leaves suddenly felt suspicious. It wasn't just a trail ride anymore. It felt like stepping straight into the opening scene of a horror movie. While hiking deep in the wild, far from any town or road, this person found themselves surrounded by towering trees and an eerie silence that made every sound echo through the forest. That's when something strange happened. An encounter so unsettling, it ended up shared in a British Columbia hiking group on Facebook. On a remote trail in Vancouver Island, this person spotted a figure standing ahead. At first, it seemed like another hiker. But step by step, the details became more disturbing. The figure was tall, completely covered in thick dark hair, and stood perfectly still. It didn't move. It didn't speak. It only stared, a cold, unblinking glare that sent a shiver down the spine. A quick photo was taken, but the image raised more questions than answers. Some believe it was Bigfoot, the legendary creature rumored to roam Canada's wilderness. Others think it might have been a lost wanderer living far from society. Whatever it was, it didn't try to communicate. It just watched. And somewhere in those forests, it might still be watching. While hiking, this person was enjoying a quiet mountain trail when, out of nowhere, a blur of movement shot across the path. In that split second, sharp eyes caught a bobcat, leaping across the trail and disappearing down the mountainside ahead. For a moment, the peaceful hike turned into a heart-racing wildlife encounter. At first, the hiker thought the danger had passed. The bobcat's calls echoed through the trees, growing fainter and fainter with each step it took away. Pulling out a phone to record the eerie sounds seemed harmless enough, but that's when things took a turn. The noises stopped, then shifted direction. Suddenly, the calls were coming closer, louder. Every step made them feel less like distant echoes and more like a warning. Before long, the sound was right there, far too close for comfort. What started as a calm afternoon in nature became a pulse-pounding moment where every rustle in the bushes could mean a wild predator was just a few feet away. It happened on a quiet afternoon while hiking through a forest preserve near an old cemetery. The air felt heavy, like the woods were holding their breath. That's when the hikers stumbled across something strange. A massive shelter made entirely of twisted branches, almost like it had been woven together by hand, or something else. But that wasn't the worst part. Spread across the trees surrounding it were painted pentagrams, forming a perfect circle around the structure. The symbols looked old, weathered, yet somehow fresh enough to feel recent. Standing there, it felt as if the forest itself was watching. The hiker didn't stick around to find out more, and has never gone back. This person's uncle was hiking through the woods when they stumbled upon something wild at first glance. It looked like just another rock, but then, boom, this thing had character. It was shaped almost too perfectly, like it was hiding something. Around the back, there were these strange, harsh colors scorched across the surface. Like, what could have even caused that? Was it nature? Seriously, what kind of story is this rock trying to tell? This person couldn't help but wonder, was this just a fun rock, or something more mysterious? Deep in the forest, far from any signs of civilization, this person was hiking, and he saw a bear. Massive, powerful, and walking straight toward them. It didn't growl, it didn't charge, it just kept coming slowly, intentionally.
Коля, ноги дергай.
This person didn't wait to find out what its next move would be. They turned and climbed the nearest tree fast, but the bear followed. It began to climb too until it suddenly slipped and fell to the ground below. What do you think would have happened if this person hadn't reacted so quickly? Was the bear trying to attack, or was it trying to be friendly in its wild way? No one knows for sure. If it were you, what would have been your reaction? Beneath the surface, where the sun barely reaches and the ocean holds its secrets, this person went diving in search of peace, adventure, and perhaps even beauty. But then something massive began stirring in the depths. A shape, a presence. A whale. It came closer and closer, silent, towering. Every moment hung like an eternity. This person could feel the heaviness of the moment, tiny in the vast blue, and then it passed by, peacefully, silently, gliding into the deep without event. Was it curiosity, warning, or something else? Does that mean whales are friendly, or what? Would you plunge into the ocean just to see one up close? Sometimes the most beautiful meetings are also the most terrifying, and the ocean never shows its whole hand. A man busy with his computer laughed, talking to his daughter on his earpods as she stood right before him. Same smile, same voice. But when he turned to her, she vanished. Confused, he checked the security camera footage.
Yeah, she got them out of the freezer earlier for you. She's put them in the fridge. Prawns don't take long to defrost anyway. Have we decided what prawn dish you're going to mess up? Ellie! Fridge! It's freezing! Freeze me that way, freeze me this way. Bloody hell.
Dad, who are you talking to?
What the fuck? You!
Why do you keep shouting my name?
Are you fucking...
No. Why are you shouting my name? I've been upstairs.
You just come in the door.
I didn't hear
Oh
you.
my god. Oh, hold on 1 second. My heart's going. You just come in the door.
What?
You just come in the door. You went into the kitchen. You asked me about your prawns because you asked Mum to get them out of the freezer for you. I told you to put them in the fridge for you. Are you fucking with me?
No, I've been upstairs.
Oh my god, I am shaking now. That has got to be the best doppelganger I've ever seen this entity.
I've been upstairs. I thought you were calling my name because I was
No,
confused.
honestly, right? The door opened and you closed it. I saw you wearing your orange jacket.
It showed him talking to thin air. He called his real daughter, who called moments later, still miles away. Who, then, had he just seen and spoken to? While watching the CCTV footage in total silence, everything seemed normal until she started walking up the stairs. Then, out of nowhere, something grabbed her ankle.
Oh God, please! Let go of me!
She let out this blood-curdling scream, clawing at the steps while being dragged down into the basement. And here's the thing. There was no figure, just force. You could hear her nails scraping across the floor. Who or what dragged her? One quiet night in Williamsburg, Virginia, Robert Earl White was relaxing on his porch when something strange shattered the silence. Heavy, deliberate stomps echoing from deep in the woods. This wasn't just some animal scurrying through the trees. It sounded big.
Alright, no lie. I'm on my back porch. I heard someone stomping in the woods. Something huge.
Then he saw them. Two glowing eyes locked onto him from the darkness. He pulled out his phone, hit record, and zoomed in. What the camera captured was chilling. A pale, almost human-like figure lurking in the trees. Its skin looked ghostly white, and the way it just stood there, unmoving and unnatural, sent a wave of dread through him. When the video hit the internet, the comments poured in. Thousands were convinced. Whatever Robert saw that night looked disturbingly like a skinwalker. She was hiking alone in a massive 7,000-acre forest, completely off the grid. At one point, she found a quiet clearing, rolled out her mat, and started doing yoga. Nothing but the sound of birds and the wind through the trees. Peaceful, until it wasn't. Out of nowhere, a man appeared. In a forest that big, with endless space to rest, he stopped right there. And he didn't move. He just stood, pretending to use his phone, in an area with zero reception. She tried to stay calm, sitting down to face him. Still, he stood there, silent, phone to his ear, staring. The trail behind him was the only way out. Then, without warning, he sprinted off into the woods. She grabbed her things and took a risky move, heading off trail, hoping to lose him if he was watching. After a tense trek, she finally made it back to her car, safe, but shaken. Maybe he meant no harm. Maybe it was all a coincidence. But in a forest that vast, choosing that exact spot and acting like that, it's more than unsettling. It's downright creepy. He had everything planned. Sunny skies, a breathtaking spot, and even a hidden friend ready to capture the big moment. It was supposed to be perfect. But just as he dropped to one knee and pulled out the ring, disaster struck.
Oh, Jamie! Jamie, no! Oh my, no! Oh my God!
A sudden surge of water came out of nowhere, knocking him clean off his feet. In seconds, he and the ring vanished over the edge of the waterfall. Thankfully, he made it out unharmed. But the ring? Gone. Now they're left asking, was this just terrible luck or a sign from the universe not to go through with it? It was around 11 p.m. in Kentucky when she stepped out onto her balcony for a bit of quiet sky watching. The night was still, the sky crystal clear, perfect peace. But then, slicing through the silence, came a sharp, eerie whistle. It sounded close, too close, maybe just 20 or 30 feet away. Locals have a chilling superstition: never whistle at night. And if you hear one, never answer back. The area was dead silent. No voices, no footsteps, just that lone whistle echoing through the trees. When she turned toward the sound, she saw something, barely visible, lurking in the bushes. Maybe it was just shadows, or maybe not. Whatever it was, it didn't feel right. So now the question is, was it just a creepy coincidence? Or was something out there watching? While cruising down a quiet highway in Mexico, a man caught sight of something eerie just off the road. A group of people stood frozen around a glowing circle of candles, their faces unreadable in the flickering light. This wasn't some roadside party or casual gathering. It felt off, sinister even. A chill ran down his spine. Without a second thought, he slammed the gas and sped away. Whatever was happening back there, he knew one thing for sure: he was never supposed to see it. While exploring a long-abandoned gold dredge, a man snapped several photos to capture its haunting atmosphere. But in one chilling frame, something unexpected appeared. A strange face lurking on the left side of the image. It wasn't in any of the other shots, and there were no mirrors, reflections, or dust to blame. Some brushed it off as pareidolia, a trick of the mind, but others believe he may have captured something far more unsettling. The photographer is now preparing to return and investigate. Until then, the mysterious face remains unexplained and deeply unsettling. At exactly 2:54 a.m., something eerie was caught on this Ring camera, and no one has been able to explain it. A glowing light suddenly appears in the field, shifting its shape like it's alive, then vanishes into the darkness without a sound. At first glance, you might think it's just a bug, but when compared to the insects also seen in the footage, this thing moves in a different, almost intelligent way. There's a road nearby, but not a single car passed. No headlights, no reflections, just silence. So, what was it? Drop your theories in the comments. While strolling through a quiet park in Manchester, TikTok user Liam, aka Wrigley720, caught something seriously strange on camera. At first it seemed eerie but harmless. People were just standing still, everywhere.
Yeah, what's going on here? Got one guy just stood there. He's been stood there for about an hour. This other guy just stood here. This woman just stood here.
There's a guy in trees over there.
That guy just stood there. There's a guy 2 trees over there, and then this woman just stood here. But like, what they just stood here doing mad stuff.
What the fuck?
Right, now they've all just started walking. Just walking away. Just all walking randomly. They're all just stood there, stopped. Now they've all just started walking. Look, she just got on her thing and just started walking. What is going on?
Scattered across the park, a dozen or so people were frozen in place, not moving a muscle. No talking, no blinking, just still. Then, just as suddenly as it began, it stopped. They've all just started walking, Liam says in disbelief. Just walking away, randomly, like nothing happened. It was as if someone had flipped a switch. People who had been motionless for ages suddenly came back to life and walked off in different directions. So what did Liam witness? A prank? A flash mob? A social experiment? Mass hypnosis? No one knows for sure. Theories have exploded online, but none of them explain what went down in that Manchester park. One thing's certain, whatever happened that day, it was anything but normal. While on a road trip through Zhytomyr, Ukraine, this man stopped near what he thought was just an old ammo depot. Then, boom, it erupted without warning. Seconds later, a massive shockwave slammed into his car. Miraculously, everyone inside made it out unharmed. Late one night in Laguna Niguel, a man was walking home when he witnessed something he could barely believe himself. Beneath the faint glow of a street lamp stood a translucent figure, dressed in dark clothing, almost invisible, but undeniably real. Heart pounding, he snapped a photo and bolted home. When he showed the image to his neighbor, they were speechless and quickly uploaded it online, hoping someone could explain what they were seeing. Was it a ghost, a glitch in reality, or just a clever edit? The internet is still divided. It was just past midnight. He was deep into a movie when a sudden knock echoed through the house. Startled, he paused the film and went to check, but no one was at the door. Confused, he stepped outside, checking the front yard, backyard, driveway. Everything was still. No sign of anyone. He shrugged it off and went back inside. But 40 minutes later, his backyard security camera picked up something chilling. A pale, ghostly figure drifting across the yard, not once, but twice. Some Reddit users brushed it off, saying it was probably just a trick of the light. Maybe the way the leaves shimmered as the figure passed was just a coincidence, but that only raised more questions. Would a flicker of light be enough to trigger a motion alert? And if it was just light, why hadn't the camera ever gone off before? And most unsettling of all, who knocked on the door? While trekking through the desert under the cover of night, a hiker flipped on a black light just to be safe. What lit up? A massive scorpion, glowing like something out of a sci-fi movie. Without that light, they never would have seen it lurking nearby. One wrong step, and things could have turned ugly fast. From that point on, every crunch of sand had them on edge. It was the morning of May 9th, 2025. A group of friends hit the road, ready for what was supposed to be a fun, laid-back trip. But just a few miles in, they noticed something strange. A car was tailing them, closely. Trying to be courteous, the driver pulled over to let it pass. Big mistake.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Out of nowhere, the trailing car didn't pass. It pounced. A textbook ambush. Fast, aggressive, and terrifying. But this driver didn't panic. He reacted instantly, swerving out of the trap and saving everyone in the car. The entire incident was caught on a dash cam and handed over to the police. It provided investigators with a crucial lead, but as of July 10th, the suspects are still at large. A chilling new video has been making the rounds online, allegedly filmed deep in a secluded forest in Mexico. The clip shows a bizarre, tiny winged figure, humanoid in shape, fluttering wildly in front of the camera before disappearing into the trees. Though the footage is grainy, it's ignited fierce debate among cryptid enthusiasts and folklorists. Some argue it could be the most convincing modern evidence of the legendary duende, or perhaps a local take on the fairy myth. Skeptics, however, insist it's nothing more than clever editing, or maybe even just an insect caught at the right angle. Still, countless viewers admit the same thing. Watching it leaves you with a deeply unsettling feeling, as if you've glimpsed something never meant for human eyes. Deep in the woods, something massive was caught moving between the trees, and no one can quite explain what it is. At first glance, it looks like no ordinary animal we've ever seen before. Some believe it could be a rare species that's managed to stay hidden from science, while others are convinced it might be a cryptid straight out of folklore. But then again, could it be something else entirely? The footage leaves more questions than answers, and the longer you watch, the stranger it seems. Take a close look and decide for yourself, what do you think was wandering through the forest that day? On March 5th, 2025, two couples set out for what was supposed to be an ordinary hike through a quiet mountain clearing in Colorado. They had walked this trail many times before, but on this day, something felt off, like the air itself was holding its breath. As they made their way deeper into the woods, an unsettling sound broke the silence. Heavy, deliberate footsteps echoed through the trees, accompanied by strange, guttural gibberish. No words they could recognize. The hikers froze, scanning the trail ahead. That's when they saw it. A massive figure, tall and hunched, emerged just a few yards away. Its movements were slow but purposeful, and before fear could take over, one of the hikers managed to snap a quick photo. Hours later, the image surfaced online through the account SquatchWatch1, instantly sparking debate. The photo revealed something chilling. The creature's arms were far longer than human proportions, hanging well past its knees, giving it an almost unnatural silhouette. To cryptid enthusiasts, this detail was impossible to ignore. Colorado has a long history of alleged Bigfoot encounters, but many blurry photos and shaky videos have left skeptics with plenty of doubt. This time, however, experts are saying the image could be one of the clearest, most compelling pieces of evidence ever captured of the legendary creature. Was this just another trick of light and shadow? Or did those hikers stumble upon something that has eluded mankind for generations? Deep underground, hidden in the cold silence of a cave, there was something no one expected to see. A figure, frozen in place, kneeling, almost like it was begging for mercy. At first glance, it didn't look like a statue at all. It looked alive, nearly as if a real person had been turned to stone in that exact moment. Some explorers who stumbled across it couldn't shake the feeling that they weren't looking at art, but a body petrified by time. Could it have been some ancient ritual? Or maybe a punishment from long ago, preserved in stone forever? What made it even stranger was the location. This wasn't a temple, or a museum, or anywhere you'd expect a statue. It was buried deep inside a dark, damp cave where hardly anyone ever goes. So why was it there? Did someone drag it down to hide it? Or could the cave itself have swallowed a person whole, sealing their last desperate plea into eternity? Its hands pressed together, its head bowed low. The air turns heavier, colder, and you can't help but wonder if it's watching, waiting. Some people think it's just a sculpture carved long ago and abandoned, but others believe caves hold secrets we don't fully understand. Maybe it wasn't made. Maybe it was once living, a warning, trapped forever, for anyone who dares to enter. So here's the question. What do you think? Was this simply a statue left behind? Or was someone frozen in stone inside that cave? While hiking in a forest, this person stumbled upon something chilling. There's a massive 10-foot tall Grim Reaper carved right into a living tree. The detail is mind-blowing. Every fold in the robes, the mysterious hooded face. It looks so real, it's almost scary. But wait, it gets better. This isn't just one carving. There are more creature sculptures hidden throughout these woods. Someone has been secretly creating an amazing outdoor art gallery. The coolest part? All the trees are still alive and growing around the carvings. That takes serious artistic skill. While trekking through the dense woods of Monura, Utah, a lone hiker stumbled upon something he never expected. Off in the distance, his camera caught a towering fur-covered figure moving silently between the trees, only to vanish in an instant. At first, he brushed it off, unsure of what his eyes had just seen. But once he reviewed the footage at home, the chilling realization set in. He had captured the entire encounter on film. The question is, did he record undeniable proof of Bigfoot? Or was it nothing more than someone in a costume trying to stir up attention? A mother's heart races as she senses a dark, menacing presence lurking close by. Grabbing her child, she dashes to safety, but instead of fleeing, her fear turns into fierce courage. She storms back, hurling stones at the shadowy figure, refusing to let anything threaten her family. The grow heavy with a strange, chilling sound echoing from the unknown. But what is it? Could it be an elf? A creature said to dwell deep within the mountains, silently watching from the shadows? Or perhaps something far more sinister, a jinn, a supernatural being born of darkness beyond the grasp of human understanding. While walking, this person heard a strange noise rising from a sewer. Curious, they began recording, not noticing anything unusual until later. When the footage was reviewed, a figure appeared in the shadows. Was it just a person hiding? Or something far more sinister? Some say it looked like a ghost. Others believe it was a jinn, or maybe something even darker. The question is, what do you see? A man went camping with his friends when they realized something or someone was stalking them in the woods. At night, they couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Strange noises circled their camp, and by morning, they found fresh footprints near their tents, with some of their gear mysteriously missing. Determined to find answers, the man launched his drone and switched on the thermal camera. Sure enough, a figure appeared, moving through the trees, keeping its distance. He followed it closely until the figure suddenly stopped. Switching the drone to normal vision, he expected to finally see who or what had been trailing them. But it wasn't a person at all. Standing perfectly still was a deer. Only, something about it felt wrong. The group was shaken to its core. Could it have been a shape-shifting Bigfoot? A Skinwalker hiding in plain sight? Or something even darker? A Reddit user recently shared a wild story about his uncle in Colorado, who owns a sprawling 20 to 30 acre property. The uncle had sent their grandmother a photo he claimed might be actual proof of Bigfoot lurking on the land. Naturally, the user wasn't sold, especially with AI-generated images flooding the internet these days. When they asked the community for second opinions, most people pointed out that the figure looked suspiciously like a cardboard Bigfoot cutout. Honestly, I have to agree. The shot feels just a little too perfect to be the real deal. In May 2025, something chilling was caught on camera near the High River in Colorado. Several bystanders filmed what appeared to be a massive, shadowy figure moving through the wilderness.
That's really funny.
The creature was tall, covered in hair, and its movements seemed unnatural, almost too fluid to be human. Now, the footage has everyone talking. Was this the long-awaited proof of Bigfoot, or just another trick of the eyes? Could the legendary creature be roaming the forests of Colorado? This person was exploring an old abandoned building deep in the forest. The place was dark, broken, and completely silent. While looking around, the explorer suddenly heard a child's voice calling out. But here's the scary part. No one else was there.
en donde pasó este percance. Y es que las personas que viven cerca, a raíz de que pasó este suceso, decidieron irse del lugar. Pero hay personas que a veces pasan cerca de esta casa y escuchan a un niño llorar justamente viniendo de esta casa, como si estuviese aquí todavía, pero como pueden darse cuenta, está completamente abandonada. Estoy escuchando ruidos medio raros. Hola. Uy. Algo. Como si vinieran aquí. Es mi idea o se mira como si estuviera alguien aquí parado, miren.
Some say it could have been a mimic, a creature that copies voices to trick people. Others think it was just the building playing tricks on the mind. Either way, the person didn't wait to find out and left fast, feeling like something was still watching from inside. While trekking deep into a remote U.S. forest, a group of hikers couldn't shake the feeling that something, or someone, was watching them. Out of caution, they pulled out a camera to document their surroundings. That's when it happened. From the thick brush, a towering, ape-like figure covered in dark orangish hair suddenly lunged into view, sending the hikers scrambling in fear. But the encounter didn't end there. Later, they managed to capture more footage of the same creature, this time slipping quietly back into the woods. Strangely enough, instead of fleeing, the hikers decided to follow. The closer they looked, the more the hair seemed to move naturally, hugging the creature's muscles in a way that didn't look like a costume. Still, there's something about the footage that doesn't feel entirely authentic. Could it be real, or just another elaborate hoax? While hiking through the forest, someone came across something straight out of a horror movie. Leaning against a tree, high up in the mountains, were the skeletal remains of what looked like a deer or similar animal. But here's the strange part. It wasn't just lying on the ground, the way you'd expect. No. This skeleton had been carefully propped upright against the trunk of a tree, almost as if someone or something wanted it to be seen. Just imagine walking alone, the air crisp, snow still clinging to the ground, when suddenly you turn your head and see bones staring back at you, ribs stretched wide, skull tilted downward as if it's watching. That sight alone is enough to freeze anyone in their tracks. But the bigger question is, why was it put there? Was this simply nature at work, the remains stuck in place as time went on? Or could it have been placed deliberately as some kind of warning, maybe to keep people away or mark territory in the most unsettling way possible? A Reddit user was at home when he spotted this bright, almost blinding light shining in the backyard of this person's home. At first, it just looked like a glare, nothing unusual. But when you slow it down and focus, you'll notice something eerie. Right there, in the center of that light, there's a shadowy figure, standing completely still and not moving, just watching. The question is, who or what was standing in that light? Was it human? Something else? Or maybe something that wasn't supposed to be there at all? A Reddit user checked their Blink camera footage from the previous night, and what they found was chilling. In every frame, this person just wanted to review a quiet night in their backyard. But when the red truck drives into view and the screen darkens, something strange happens. Look closely. A shadowy figure appears, then vanishes almost instantly. Who or what was that? Was it just a trick of the light, or something far more unsettling? This person was out hiking with their partner at Blue River in Kentucky. It was just a peaceful day, and at the end of the trail, they snapped a quick photo. But when they looked back at it, something was off. There's only supposed to be one person in the picture, the one on the right. So who or what is that on the left? The weirdest part? The two legs in the middle seem to share just 1 foot. Yeah, 1 foot between them. This could have been a camera glitch, sure, but something about it feels off. It looks way too real. Was it a doppelganger? Something paranormal? Either way, this person hasn't looked at hiking photos the same way since. While hiking through a ravine with their dog, enjoying the quiet, until they heard something that made them stop cold. These chilling sounds were coming from a gutter nearby. Low, strange noises echoing from the dark. It sounded so creepy, like something or someone was hiding down there. Who or what was making that sound? He wasn't about to stick around to find out. This eerie photo was snapped by a Reddit user during a hike along the Lime Kiln Trail in Snohomish County, Washington. Built as a railway in the early 1890s and abandoned in 1932, the trail is steeped in forgotten history. But here's where it gets chilling. This person didn't notice anything unusual at first, until they looked closer. If you zoom in, you'll see it too. What appears to be a ghostly face with a white beard peering through the trees. Could it be a spirit from the past? Just a weathered rock? Or maybe, just maybe, a trick of the light? What did this hiker capture that day? Deep in the heart of a dark, overgrown forest, someone set up a trail camera to catch glimpses of wildlife. But what the footage captured was far from ordinary. In one eerie frame, a woman in a flowing white dress appeared, standing still, staring straight into the lens. Stranger still, she seemed to have antlers growing from her head. Then, just 40 minutes later, she was gone, vanished without a trace. If this happened, it's the stuff of nightmares. But something about the photo feels off. Too cinematic. Too perfect. Maybe it was staged, or maybe we just weren't meant to understand what we saw. He just wanted a peaceful night at the beach, waves crashing, moonlight dancing on the water. But when he pulled out his phone to record the ocean, he captured something he'll never forget. A chilling figure sitting alone by the shore. It wasn't human, and it wasn't an animal. To this day, he has no idea what he saw. But one thing's for sure, he'll never return to the beach at night again. Reddit user Burlapin recently posted chilling footage from deep inside a mine. The clip shows timber beams holding up the roof, an old-school support system still trusted in some operations. Suddenly, the tension builds. Then, a dramatic shift. Unlike steel or concrete, timber has a unique trait. It creaks and groans under pressure, acting as a natural warning system for miners.
Always fucking face and hold it up.
This eerie sound gave everyone just enough time to react. Thanks to those creaks, no one was hurt when the collapse began. Late one night, a man snapped a photo near the Rivier Tunnel in St. Clementine, but what he discovered later sent chills down his spine. When he reviewed the image, he spotted a ghostly figure lurking in the shadows. According to the Redditor who posted it, the photo is completely unedited. Since then, the eerie silhouette has sparked intense debate online. Some insist it's just a play of light and shadow, while others are convinced it's something far more sinister, possibly paranormal. While exploring a dark, winding cave, he suddenly heard a strange echoing noise. That's when he saw it. A gut-churning, eerie creature. It looked almost human, but something was deeply wrong. Just one glimpse of it is enough to keep you up at night. During a family gathering, Stepanka was casually scrolling through her home's CCTV feed when something chilling caught her eye outside.
And I put it up on my Instagram and I was like, guys, like, what do you think this is? And everybody's like, that's a ghost, that's a ghost. But like, everyone's like, that's a full-on fucking apparition. That is like, that's not a blob. That's not a little light thing. It's a full apparition of a ghost. And I'm just like, right, it is. I'm not fucking crazy.
What she captured was haunting. A figure standing eerily still. Until, within seconds, it morphed into a floating, solid white form, ghostly and unmistakably out of place. Skeptical but intrigued, Stanka tried everything to recreate the scene under the same lighting and conditions. Nothing worked. To this day, the footage remains unexplained, and so does the ghostly figure that appeared that night. A chilling video released by the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office shows the terrifying moment a woman was nearly kidnapped.
Get off me! Help!
Thankfully, she managed to escape. But the question remains, was the suspect ever caught? Since the footage dropped, there's been no official update. As this person was casually walking by, they happened to glance up, and what they captured is nothing short of chilling. perched silently on a nearby rooftop, almost blending into the shadows, was what appeared to be a reptilian creature. It didn't move. It didn't speak. It just stood there, watching. While the world below bustled with people going about their day, completely unaware, this mysterious figure kept its gaze fixed, observing everything in silence. What began as a beautiful sunlit day at Lake Tahoe took a deadly turn. Within just 10 minutes, a sudden and violent snowstorm engulfed the lake, transforming clear skies into a blinding whiteout. 8 lives were tragically lost that day. But the most chilling part? Guests in cabin 19 at Cedar Glen Lodge captured the storm on video and spotted something they weren't expecting. Amid the swirling snow, a dark shadow streaked by at an unnaturally fast speed. Was it a spirit caught on camera? Or is there a more logical explanation? You decide. Reddit user Kind and a friend were enjoying a peaceful evening at a local lake park around 8 p.m. when things took an eerie turn. While casually snapping photos, one of them suddenly noticed a strange, floating shape appear on the screen. The odd part? There was no one else around, and the area was completely fenced off. Was it just a trick of the light, a camera glitch, or something more chilling, like an apparition drifting through the night? You're not going to believe what these fishermen from Yuka, Russia, stumbled upon. While casting their lines along a remote riverbank, they uncovered something straight out of the Ice Age, massive mammoth tusks buried beneath the mud.
Oh, wala. Hidden. Ooh. Oh, wala. Oh, what narangan ito? Oh, wala. Gyon kila ba? Huh?
In this part of Russia, it's not uncommon for locals to scour riverbanks, hoping to strike it rich. Why? Because mammoth tusks are worth a fortune. Nature sometimes reveals these prehistoric treasures when you least expect it. A man set out to explore a series of cabins deep in the woods, rumored to be abandoned. Everything was quiet, almost too quiet, until something shifted behind one of the upper windows.
Yo. You see movement then? Yeah. Move the light. Yo. Yo. Fuck is that? Yo.
At first glance, there was nothing. But as their flashlights moved away, a pale figure briefly peeked out from behind a curtain. At first, he brushed it off, thinking it was just a squatter. But later, when he reviewed the footage, chills ran down his spine. The figure had no face. Its skin was unnaturally pale, like it hadn't seen sunlight in years. That was all he needed to see. He didn't wait around for a second encounter. Whatever was inside that cabin wasn't human. While hiking along an old railway trail, this person stumbled upon something truly unexpected.
Look what I found. Any ideas? Who might live in there? I think there's more. It's a little tunnel. This is cute.
a tiny wooden door tucked neatly into the base of a tree. At first glance, it looked like it might have been made for ants or some other small woodland creatures. But the more you look at it, the more you start to wonder, was it just a whimsical decoration? Or could there be something else, something mysterious, living behind that miniature door? While doing his routine rounds at an old manor, a maintenance worker spotted something chilling, a shadowy figure staring at him from behind a window. He quickly snapped a photo. Curious and concerned, he went inside to investigate. The alarm system was still armed. Nothing was broken. Nothing was out of place. He reset the system and turned for one last look. The figure had vanished. What makes this story truly unsettling is who saw it. This wasn't someone known for spinning ghost tales or chasing the paranormal. This was a grounded, no-nonsense man, respected by his colleagues for being level-headed and honest. But that night, even he was rattled. He couldn't explain what had been watching him from the shadows. On May 26, 2025, Ray, a YouTuber famous for his spine-chilling forest explorations, ventured deep into an isolated woodland to set up a trail camera and audio recorder. The setting was calm and untouched, with only fresh animal tracks hinting at any life nearby. The only human he encountered was a lone hiker, and by the time he returned the next morning, everything appeared undisturbed, except the audio recorder, which had mysteriously stopped working, likely due to dead batteries. But when Ray reviewed the camera footage, one haunting moment froze him in his tracks. At exactly 4 a.m., a shirtless man emerged from the darkness, crawling across the forest floor with a massive axe clutched in his hand. Disturbed, Rai asked around in nearby villages, hoping someone might recognize the man. No one did. So who was this crawling figure in the dead of night? And what was he doing with that axe in the middle of nowhere? While hiking through a quiet forest trail with a friend, someone stepped into a small clearing and instantly froze. Hanging from one of the trees was something deeply disturbing, something that didn't belong there. Its presence was eerie, unexplained, and completely out of place in the stillness of the woods. They didn't dare get closer. The shock of discovering it in such a remote spot sent chills down their spine. Without saying a word, they turned and left, haunted by the image and the feeling that they were never meant to find it. One night, a farmer glanced out his window and spotted something unusual moving in the distance. Curious and uneasy, he reviewed the security footage, and what he saw sent a chill down his spine. A lone figure, draped in what looked like a long gown, was slowly gliding across his land. There was no flashlight, no source of light at all, and yet they navigated the pitch-black, uneven terrain with eerie ease, never stumbling, never hesitating. Who or what could move like that in total darkness? And more importantly, why were they there at all? While exploring a remote forest in Mexico, a Reddit user snapped a photo that would later leave them deeply unsettled. In the top left corner of the image, barely visible among the trees, was a faint figure, something that didn't belong to the natural surroundings. At the moment the photo was taken, the user was certain they were completely alone. But when they captured another picture just seconds later, the mysterious figure had vanished without a trace. Was it a simple trick of the light? A case of pareidolia? Or was something silently lurking in the shadows, watching from the trees? While hiking deep in the woods, a man spotted what looked like a little boy standing still in the distance. But as he cautiously approached, he realized it wasn't a child at all. It was a mannequin. Who would drag a mannequin into the forest, and why? Was it planted as some kind of twisted prank? Or is there a more disturbing reason for hiding in plain sight? Either way, the unsettling sight was enough to cut his hike short. He turned around and headed straight back to his car, haunted by the chilling encounter. Deep in the heart of a dark, overgrown forest, someone set up a trail camera to catch glimpses of wildlife. But what the footage captured was far from ordinary. In one eerie frame, a woman in a flowing white dress appeared, standing still, staring straight into the lens. Stranger still, she seemed to have antlers growing from her head. Then, just 40 minutes later, she was gone, vanished without a trace. If this happened, it's the stuff of nightmares. But something about the photo feels off. Too cinematic. Too perfect. Maybe it was staged, or maybe we just weren't meant to understand what we saw. One quiet evening, a truck driver was filming the full moon to share the moment with his son. Focused on getting the perfect shot, he was startled when his truck suddenly jolted, as if he'd hit something. He pulled over immediately. Curious and shaken, he replayed the dashcam footage, and that's when things got strange.
What the hell? No. No, 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 no. Wait, there's nothing there.
At first it looked normal. Then a shadowy figure appeared, standing motionless in the middle of the road. But when he stepped out to investigate, the road was empty. Nobody. No trace. Just silence. Some believe he may have encountered something beyond our world, something that vanished just as quickly as it came. Paranormal investigators are still baffled. Late one night, a man was driving through a dark, echoing tunnel when he witnessed something that defied all logic. Unable to believe what he saw, he quickly reviewed his dashcam footage, and there it was. A mysterious figure materialized out of nowhere, only to vanish as his car passed through it. Was it the lingering spirit of someone long gone? Or just an eerie trick of the light? What do you think happened that night? On August 23, 2013, what started as a thrilling base jump near Twin Falls, Idaho, turned into a near-death experience. Two men leaped from the iconic Apparition bridge, but in midair, chaos struck. One of the jumpers realized too late that his parachute wasn't opening properly. He spiraled out of control, hurtling toward the jagged rocks along the riverbank. In a twist of luck or fate, he narrowly missed the rocks and slammed into the river instead. The impact was savage. He was immediately rushed to the hospital, but in a miracle that defied the odds, he survived, battered but alive, and without any life-threatening injuries. While hiking alone, Instagram user Smithereens felt that eerie, unmistakable sensation like he wasn't truly alone. At first, he chalked it up to nerves, but then he turned his camera toward the trees, and what he captured sent chills down his spine.
Come out. Come out from behind the tree, I see you. Okay, we gotta go.
Peeking from behind one of the trunks was a pale, human-like figure. The second he locked eyes with it, instinct kicked in, and he took off running. The video ends with him fleeing, with no update and no explanation. He likely made it out safely, considering the footage was posted, but one haunting question still lingers. What was lurking in those woods? In the fall of 2024, as a rare comet made its final visible pass across Earth's skies, a lone biker hit the road in search of a perfect view. With a camera mounted and hopes high, he rode through the night, recording everything along the way. The comet never appeared to the naked eye, but the footage told a different story. While reviewing the clips days later, something eerie emerged. A fast-moving shadow darted across the frame. It wasn't a finger, it wasn't a bird, and it wasn't anything the biker had seen in real time. He was completely alone that night, yet something else had been out there. To this day, he still can't explain what he captured. This person was hiking deep in the wilds of West Virginia when they stumbled upon something downright chilling. A massive footprint, embedded in the dirt, far larger than any normal humans. They snapped a photo and sent it to me, clearly shaken. It wasn't just the size that was disturbing. It was the eerie stillness of the area, like the forest itself was holding its breath. What kind of creature could have left something like that behind? Is there something even more unexplainable roaming those woods? Let me know what you think in the comments. Was this just an elaborate prank? Or did this person accidentally cross paths with a living legend? A group of campers was scoping out the perfect spot to set up camp when something bizarre stopped them in their tracks. A tiny hand reaching up from a hole in the ground like it was clawing for help or trying to escape. They crept closer, hearts pounding. But before they could get a clear look, the hand vanished into the shadows below. It wasn't a raccoon's paw. It wasn't anything they recognized. So now they're asking, does it look familiar to you? Late one night, YouTuber Chris Javier was casually filming a vlog outside his Airbnb when something bizarre started happening. As he stood under a streetlight, a strange feeling crept over him, like he wasn't alone. Suddenly, the light above him began to flicker.
Like watching it from here, and what the freak? You guys saw that? You guys saw that, right? What the? You guys, I know you guys just saw that, right? I kept blinking. What the hell? And it never does that. Look, it just went out. It just went out. It doesn't do that at all. Oh my gosh, you guys. Turn on. Let me see if it turns on. Will it turn on for me? What the heck is going on? You can see it has a little light into it too. Right there, it's glowing. Just a little bit. Oh my gosh, you guys. This is creepy. I'm just gonna go over here real quick.
Confused, he wondered if the light was somehow reacting to him. But just as he tried to move away, the light blinked again, this time on cue with his voice. That's when things got truly unsettling. From the dark alley he had just walked past, a man appeared angry, dazed, and muttering to himself.
You know, see, that's what I'm talking about. The guy's just walking back and forth. He just started following me. See, that's him. You see him behind me. Yes, you guys see him behind me. He's right there. What the fuck? You guys, he's like coming towards me. I am not liking that. The crazy thing is, I saw him like face to face when I was coming, like when I was showing you guys when I was going down that hill. He was right there. Alright. I don't know if I see him. Alright, you guys. What the hell is he doing?
Chris backed away, uneasy. The man lingered under the same flickering light, then, without warning, began spinning in circles, as if caught in some kind of trance.
Listen. Look what he's doing. He's just moving his arm back and forth. What the hell? Yo, this place is creepy. This place is actually really, really creepy.
Needless to say, Chris didn't get much sleep that night, but by morning, he was gone, leaving that eerie Airbnb and its haunted streetlight behind for good. One night off the coast of Skeletal, Sicily, something eerie was captured on camera. A glowing figure drifted through the dark waters at first, and it looked like a diver with a headlamp. But as it came closer, the illusion fell apart. Its shape was all wrong. Long, serpent-like, a visible spine running down its back. And the way it moved? Not human, not even close. Was it just a trick of the light? A diver caught at a strange angle? Or did this fisherman stumble upon something far more mysterious lurking beneath the surface? A TikToker vacationing with his family near a remote cemetery in South America decided to explore the eerie grounds one night. Camera in hand, he began recording, just for fun. But what he captured was anything but ordinary. As they approached one of the graves, the soil suddenly began to move.
Elizabeth, sal. Se está manifestando, güey. Sal, Elizabeth.
Cuidado.
¡Uy!
¿Elizabeth?
Se está moviendo.
¿Quieres salir, Elizabeth?
Mira, se está moviendo. Se está moviendo, güey. No manches, güey.
Literalmente pura tierra. Se está moviendo la tierra como que
la tumba se está moviendo. Va a salir, güey.
Not just a little violently, like something was desperately trying to escape from beneath. The footage quickly went viral. Some are convinced it's evidence of the paranormal. Others fear someone may have been buried alive. A few skeptics chalk it up to an animal. Whatever the explanation, one thing's certain. It's the kind of video that'll haunt you long after you've watched it. While out exploring nature, someone stumbled upon something seriously bizarre. Slithering across the ground was a slimy, blob-like creature, unlike any animal they'd ever seen before. They scoured the internet for answers, but nothing came close to matching it. So now the big question is, did they uncover a rare, undocumented species? Or is this just a cleverly staged hoax designed to go viral? Seen anything like it? Drop your theories in the comments. This one's a mystery worth solving. While visiting a cemetery late at night, this person's camera caught something truly bone-chilling. At first, it was just silence and the occasional rustle of leaves. But then, right there in the corner of the frame, a ghostly figure appeared. It wasn't dust. It wasn't a trick of the light. It was moving, slowly and deliberately. This person didn't notice it at first. But when reviewing the footage later, this person realized what had been captured. A transparent shape drifted behind the tombstones, almost like it was watching. No explanation, no warning, just a real video of a ghost. Whether it's a spirit trapped between worlds or something darker, what this camera picked up is one of the clearest pieces of paranormal evidence this person has ever seen. What do you think? Real ghost or just a trick of the mind? Let me know in the comments, if you're brave enough. We came across this chilling video from Grizzly Gaz, a YouTuber well known for his scary camping encounters. But this one felt different. He begins telling the dark legend of Lady Sybil of Burnshaw Tower, a woman who made a pact with the devil himself, gaining powers to shapeshift, but was cursed to walk the earth even after death. Can you imagine camping in the very woods where her spirit is said to roam? The legend takes a darker turn. Lady Sybil, caught as a cat, had her paw severed. Even though she magically reattached it, her soul was forever bound to the hills and forests. Things get unsettling. While setting up his tent, Grizzly Gaz hears what sounds like gunshots in the distance. The silence of the forest breaks, and suddenly, he isn't sure if he's alone.
Give the video a like as well. Right. I'm going to get in my tent now and get set up for night. Alright, mate. Don't know if I just caught that, but I'm pretty sure I've just heard gunshots. And they shot me. Oh, fucking hell, you farted. Or is that your breath? Chill out.
The mist grows heavy. He keeps seeing flashes of eyes shine in the darkness. Or was it a torch? Something seemed to be following him.
Can't even see any paths or out, man, because of this mist. I keep seeing flashes of light. Like eye shine, but that corner of my eye. Down there, look.
Finally, the fear hits hardest. Between the gunshots, the mist, and the glowing eyes in the distance, Gaz admits it's not worth the risk.
Really want to know what that shine was down there. Whether it's a torch. Like I say, I've heard gunshots earlier, so... Fuck. Don't want to be getting shot, do I? And I especially don't want to be running in to the landowner again, because he will not be happy that I'm back in here.
His gut tells him to get out before something truly terrifying happens. And honestly, can you blame him? Things take a darker turn in the next clip I came across. This video was shared by Action Adventure Clips, a page well known for thrilling adventure videos and short action-packed clips. They step into the cave, water echoes through the darkness, louder than ever before, and a salamander greets them, as if warning them to turn back. The deeper they go, the colder it becomes. The passage tightens, pressing in like the cave itself doesn't want them there. They hear the roar of a waterfall, beautiful, but masking something sinister. As they go deeper, a strange odor fills the air. Gas, toxic. Then panic erupts as they start shouting,
Twice as bad. It's a cave emergency. Oh, the gas is coming. Oh.
The group scrambles as the fumes thicken. As they were running away from that one, they ran straight into a dense pocket of poison. The lights dim, their voices grow frantic.
Oh, we ran into the gas. Oh, we hit a toxic pocket of gas. Dude, it's so gassy. We gotta get out of here. You're on the right path. Don't come up there.
I can't breathe.
We hit
I can't see anything, dude.
a pocket of bad gas. Dude, we hit a pocket.
Dude, they caught up to us.
As if that was not enough, they're trapped in the fog, lungs burning, unsure where the exit is. Some claim they saw shapes moving inside the haze. They finally find a way out, but racing footsteps echo behind them, as if something else made it out too. Would you dare go into that cave, knowing it almost became their tomb? From eerie to downright disturbing, here's what came next. Jasko is a YouTuber who creates videos. This time, he went to a haunted cabin. What was supposed to be a fun haunted cabin video turned into a nightmare. Because deep in the woods, miles from civilization, someone else was there. No service, no power. Just them, and a stranger. They learn why the cabin is called the Skinwalker cabin. People who've stayed here report screams, voices mimicking loved ones, even shadowy figures outside their windows. Panic sets in as they hear a loud, blood-curdling scream in the backyard of the cabin. They freeze. Was it human, animal, or worse, something in between?
Channel if you have not already. That was a knock on the door. Hello?
Okay.
Oh my God.
What you got in me?
The only thing I have in me is about to come out. How scared I am.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's how terrifying this place is. I guess since we're here, let's show you.
While investigating the skull, he hears a whistle right in his ear, though his friend is nowhere near him.
You know, whole thing, because it smells really bad right here. What the f? Chris? What? That wasn't you?
Oh no, I'm right here.
Bro, something like whistled in my ear. On God, like right next to me. Voice.
The camera catches it. Something unseen is toying with them. The night spirals, more screams, heavy knocks, voices through the spirit box saying "my grave" and "they seek justice."
Huh, Skinwalkers? Can you mimic this noise?
They seek justice.
They seek justice? What? What? What the f, Chris? Oh my God!
Loud screams.
Oh my God, you scared the shit out of me. Sorry. Go inside, go inside, go inside.
After some time, fear peaks. The sound of the metal gate slamming shut. It had been tied open. Someone untied it. Now they're trapped inside the forest. And finally, he admitted that in his 6 years of filming, he had never experienced something as terrifying as this.
Listen, something isn't right here. Let me backtrack about 30 minutes. We stopped recording. I don't even know what the hell the last thing we recorded was. And Chris and I decided that we were going to go outside together with our flashlights and just see if it was safe. Do a little perimeter check because we wanted to do things together outside. But when we went out there, we heard what sounded like metal. Something very loud in the distance. Metal. And I don't even want to fucking think about it because it's bringing fucking tears to my eyes just thinking about it. The gate to this cabin is a very large metal gate. And I truly fear that what we heard was the metal gate closing, slamming shut. And now one thing I'll tell you is that that gate was open and it was tied to a tree.
So the only way it would have closed is if someone untied it.
Would you have lasted the night inside the Skinwalker cabin? Just when you think it can't get stranger, wait until you see this. This story comes from Busca Sobrenatural on YouTube. They returned to the abandoned house, cameras rolling. Almost immediately, the air felt wrong, batteries drained overnight, and a chill crept in. Dogs that usually barked were silent tonight. Suddenly, movement in the shadows. A figure darted across the darkened rooms, and the temperature dropped like ice.
Hey. We'll only come back a little early today. Dude, be careful, man. Really, I don't think there are any dogs.
Be careful. You saw what we saw, right? Oh, silence, silence. I see something inside the house. Look there, look there. That's it, man. Did
you see that man? There, man. Did you see that man? What's
that man? I'm not worried. How cold it got all of a sudden.
Wow. Look there. Did you see that man? Man.
While inside the building, a glass exploded across the floor. Shards flew toward them, forcing them back.
Cara, eu também filmei. Tu filmou, será, Jefinho? Filmei. Cara, vamos entrar ali pra ver isso, cara. Ai, meu Deus, cara. Voa um vidro em mim aqui, cara. Voa um vidro em mim aqui, cara. Ô, o cachorro. Cara, pra mim o barulho tá vindo lá de cima, eu acho, cara.
But what shattered the door glass when no one was near? Just a moment later, a heavy bear statue moved on its own. First shifting, then toppling as if shoved by invisible hands. The house came alive, doors slamming, tables sliding, the sound of footsteps above. Then chaos walls shook, windows blew open, and an unseen force tore the house apart. They ran, breathless, terrified. From eerie to downright disturbing, here's what came next. This video comes from Chamos on YouTube. They returned once again to the infamous doctor's house, a place where every time they step inside, something darker seems to awaken. At first, the night felt quiet, too quiet. Then they noticed it. Strange, blood-red graffiti smeared on the walls. But who wrote it? And why did it appear only now? Suddenly, a loud noise echoed through the empty halls. Something unseen was moving around them. Then, chaos. Objects started falling, hitting the ground near them. A perfume bottle cap, furniture shaking. The tension grew unbearable.
The cross is there, then. Look, something here hit something behind me. Real just heard it, now I heard it. But man, something fell really close to here, look.
They heard a disembodied voice, whispering from the darkness. One of them swore it was the doctor himself.
Did you hear it? No, yes. Damn, man. Hey, calm down. Look at this, man. Man, you said that thing about graffiti, right?
And then it happened. The apparition appeared. A dark, human-like figure at the far end of the hallway. It flickered in and out, then vanished before their eyes. They ran, terrified, hearts pounding, knowing one thing. The doctor was still there, and he wanted them gone. Just like before, the next video captures something terrifying on camera. This video was uploaded by Morozov's fan on YouTube. Everything you're about to see was streamed live. On the night of the 19th, he entered a house he had just purchased. But this wasn't just any house, it was known to contain a demon. The former owners wanted to get rid of it, but he was determined to drive the evil out himself. At first, things were quiet. Too quiet. Then, faint footsteps creaked across the stairs, but no one was there.
Did you hear those sounds? The creaking of the stairs, footsteps. These are not the sounds of the house. It is it. It was in the house right away. It does not appear here at night. It is here constantly.
Would you stay if you heard that? Or would you already be gone? A shadow figure appeared in the stream, unnoticed until later. The deeper he went, the stronger it became.
Already on the 20th minute of the stream. A shadow was recorded, but, unfortunately, neither the people watching the stream nor I noticed it.
Lights flickered, devices beeped, and a shadow passed right by the window. Then it happened. Using a radio transmitter, he finally made contact. A chilling voice hissed, "What do you need?"
I think she said what you need. I need a ritual statue. Where is it? This one just moved. I need a ritual statue. Where is it?
Soon after, tables moved on their own, cameras cut out, and the pressure in the room grew unbearable. And he kept demanding, "Demon, show yourself. Tell me your name." But the more he ordered, the angrier it became.
Two video cameras are turned off.
So I'll ask you this. If you were inside that house and the darkness finally answered you, would you dare to keep talking, or would you run before it takes more than just your voice? The nightmare continues, and this time, it feels way too real. This video was originally filmed by Summit or Nothing. He sets out across Dartmoor, heading towards Sorton Tor. At first, everything feels calm. The autumn air, the fading ferns, the distant mist. But Dartmoor is not just any landscape. It's a place where legends breathe. Would you dare to hike into the unknown, knowing the land itself carries ghostly stories? Strange formations appear in the ground. The remains of an abandoned ice works from the 1800s. Imagine it. Water once frozen here, harvested in silence. But some say the echoes of that factory never left. At the top, silence consumes everything. No birds, no wind, just emptiness. He stops, listening. Have you ever heard a silence so heavy it feels alive? Later, in the tent, a legend is told. The story of Judge Jeffries, known as the Hanging Judge, is cursed to return as a black phantom pig. As the tale is spoken, grunts and snorts echo outside the tent. Horses, or something darker?
Here's another one. This one tonight is called Judge Jeffries and the Big Black Phantom Pig. George Jeffries, the first Baron Jeffries, was the English judge who became notorious for his harsh sentences after the Monmouth Rebellion in 1685. His severe sentencing for even minor indiscretions earned him a black reputation. In his travels as a judge on the Western Circuit, he held court in many Devonshire towns, and legend suggests he was at his judicial best, or worst, at Lidford. It's just over there. He must have had a great impact on the area. So the story goes, he haunts the ancient borough in the guise of a big black pig. It's not clear how often this phantom porker has been seen, or why indeed it should automatically be assumed it was the dreadful judge himself.
Hours pass, but strange noises linger. Shadows press against the thin walls of the tent. He tries to sleep. But what if Dartmoor's legends aren't just stories? What if somewhere out there in the mist, something still watches? You thought the last story was bad? The next one is downright terrifying. This video was posted by Hike Slam. He set out to spend the night deep in the Virginia woods, the day before Thanksgiving. At first, everything seemed peaceful. The trail, the cold air, the sound of the river. Not long after, things turned strange. Scattered trash along the trail, beer cans, broken plastic, and writing scratched onto garbage bags. Lyrics, "Hangman is coming down from the gallows." Who leaves messages like this? A hiker or something else? Then the discovery no camper ever wants to find. A freshly killed duck, lying next to a long note, bone dry, as if it had just been placed there.
And there's a dead duck here. A very long note. And it looks like it was just put here because it's not wet. That duck is fairly recently killed. All right.
The fire from a nearby camp still burned. 2 women appeared on the trail, frightened. They asked if he had seen the man leaving notes. They swore he was still camped by the river, sitting on a rock, fire glowing. They were terrified to pass his sight alone. What would you do? Keep going or turn back before it's too late?